I just don't want to scare him off. That's a little buck there, isn't it?
Actually, you can go probably up close to where I was standing as long as you go slow.
Yeah, I don't want to scare him, but
Because there's a bunch of them back here.
yeah, that's a young buck, isn't it?
There's two young bucks, and then the bigger buck.
It's kind of hard to tell with my little camera.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem too worried about me.
They're not very afraid. Lancelot is more afraid, and Lancelot is back behind. And
Yeah,
he's a 4 point, and these are just 2 points, and all the does are out here on the side here.
Yeah, I don't think you can make it out on my camera. You can tell it's a deer. But you can't tell if it's a doe or a buck or...
You probably can't see them.
Got quite a few here. About
yeah,
8?
9 of them.
Right 9 of them.
This is pretty much the whole herd.
I
Now,
guess...
one of those mamas had another baby and lost it to the highway.
I just want to chase them off, but it's kind of cool to get some of this.
Yeah.
That's something you see every day. Well, you see it every day, probably.
I do. Well, this right here looking at you, that's Buckley.
Buckley?
And the one behind him is Bentley, because his horn, one of his antlers, is a little more bent. And then Lancelot is way back behind, but he's got 4 points. You can't really see him that well in this light. And then all the does are out here, and there's the 2 this year's babies out here, fawns with mamas. And these 2 girls here are just probably old enough to breed this year. And I think they're probably twins, because they still tolerate each other a little bit.
For a while.
But there's Lancelot. He's moving across, and he's got the 4 points. I don't know if you can see him or not.
It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I can...
He's in the bucket now.
Yeah. It's going to get a lot harder when he gets a rack.
Yeah. That's about all he can. He can barely get his head in there now. They won't tolerate him more than another year.
Yeah.
And then they'll chase him away.
Yeah. Nature can be harsh. Good thing it's got you.
Yeah. Then he'll come back when he's like got 6 points, 8 points. He'll come back and breed, but he's not old enough to be tolerated yet.
Yeah, then he's going to be a jerk boyfriend.
Yeah. And we'll only see him once a year.
Yeah.
Like 1 day or 2 days during breeding season. That's it. You don't see them again. The big ones.
Yeah, I can't really make out his horns, but you know, this is a teeny screen.
Yeah.
And if it were bigger, maybe I could. Well, shoot, we're pretty darn close.
Yeah. If you had a food bucket in your hand, you could get closer. I don't know which one of the girls it is that gets up on the
on the bridge there and likes to
but
pose.
She's not on there yet, and I was thinking maybe she'd do it, but she hasn't. Hasn't done it this morning yet. But there's 9 of them. There would be 10 if we hadn't lost the one baby.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, life can be harsh.
Yeah. Oh, here she goes. She's getting up on this.
She's going to get on her bridge.
She's on the bridge now. This is typical for her. She likes to get up there and stand. That makes her feel a little powerful. She can see better up there.
She's a little bit above everybody now. Yeah, you can kind of make it out on my camera. We'll see how it comes out. Hands starting to shake. That's the one with that little habit. It's funny, none of the other ones have picked up on that and go, hey, I want that bridge. And they'll be nudging each other off of it, maybe.
That's Bentley walked in front of her just now. He's coming up with the bent antler. It's not really bent, it's just that next year he's going to have a fork there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's about to branch off.
Yeah. Which shows he's at least 2 or going to be 3. I don't know, maybe going to be 3.
In deer years, that's quite a bit. He's probably a 16-year-old now.
Yeah, right.
In deer years.
Right.
He's a teenager.
I go through this every morning pretty much. When the apples fall, I don't have many apples this year, but when I do have them, I usually throw a good portion of them out to the deer. And then usually in the morning I'll cut some of the grapevines and throw out because they're hungry. There's not much out there to eat.
Checking out your squash though.
That was an old squash I threw out that I actually baked. I didn't like the taste of that one. You know, they're all hybrid and mixed up and everything, and I don't know what that one was made up of, but it didn't have a real good flavor.
Probably had a little pumpkin in it or something. Something that really messed up the taste.
I baked 2 of them, and I ate one, but this one I didn't eat, so I threw it out here, and they've been nibbling on it. They love watermelon. I got half of a watermelon that is so yuck that I should throw it out. They'll eat that too.
Yeah, you can do that.
They're just as curious about us as we are about them.
Yeah, they just don't want us to threaten them.
Right. But you can get pretty close to them if you have a yellow bucket in your hand.
Yeah, I prefer to hunt with a camera. That way I can shoot people too.
You see that? How that aggressive doe chased the 2 young bucks off?
Yeah.
But that's nothing compared to sometimes. She runs them into fences and into walls. And
they play rough.
yeah.
It's interesting how they just go back over that, just go up to that back fence and just easily vault over it like it's nothing, without a running start or anything.
Yeah, they can.
Amazing.
It's only been about 3 weeks at the most that the young ones have been able to jump that fence and felt comfortable with it. They were afraid to before.
I saw that one doe hesitate. I mean, that one little, fawn hesitate.
One was getting over before the other one. One got over 3 weeks ago, and one got over like 2 weeks ago or so. It's growing up. But they're out there grazing what they can get. But if you get out there, you can see there's not much out there for them to eat.
Yeah.
Past?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Had a little problem getting over it.
She didn't make it. Oh, poor little baby.
Yeah.
It's not sharp, though.
Yeah. Just a wire fence.
You'll have to keep trying until she does. Well, neither one of them, they're both still in here.